Like, hey, we're live. Okay.
We're doing this.
Yeah, no. We are actually live. Pam and I, here, I didn't bring my, what do you call it? Tripod. I have it somewhere.
Oh.
Anyhow,
We
something that can hold it.
I could probably bring a table over or something, or we can take turns.
It's all right.
If your arm gets tired.
Yeah.
But you've held a lot of babies, so you've probably got good triceps.
Good muscles.
Yeah,
here, right?
good biceps. That's it, biceps.
Yeah. So so I don't know. We can wait till Leo. Maybe if a couple people hop on, but
Okay.
Pam. I mean, I guess let's just say like, okay, we saw each other 20 years ago?
24 and a half-ish years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the last time I saw you. It's the only time I've seen you. However, we've stayed in touch all these years.
Yes.
And it's so cool to be here doing this with you because I have watched you doing this down in Florida, out in nature, and now I get to do it with you. And it's really quite amazing to think that we have this connection, even though, I mean, like, all these years have gone by, life has gone on.
Connection.
Yeah. But the reason we have the connection is, I think part of what we're here to even talk about is because the influence that you had on my life, and I'm going to get verklempt.
Oh, you guys, so
talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, so I don't know, someone hopped on, but hey, it's okay. So the story goes, I mean, I'll start and then you fill in, or you want to start? Go ahead.
No, you start.
Okay.
You start.
So a lot of you know I became a postpartum doula a long time ago, like 27, I don't know. It's been a while, because I started in Massachusetts a little bit before I came to you, but whatever that is, since 1991 I've been practicing.
Okay.
And then I met Pam, though. I had my own business 10th month. I still do. It's changed, as you guys know, whoever knows me. Now, Pam, come closer so I can see you. Yeah.
Okay.
Come close to me. Okay, there we go. Yay, now you get to see Pam. So Pam was my very first, hey, Anita. She's a friend of mine. She's always watching me. So Pam and I met when I was her postpartum doula, 24 and a half years ago.
January 1994.
Right, January 94. Now, there's a couple funny things about it, but so I'll tell you. So I worked for Pam, I want to say, it was a Friday and a Saturday. And on Sunday, I got married to Steve. Now, you didn't know that, right?
What I knew was
something.
That your mom was helping you, which I assumed it was because you were busy with other clients, and I knew you had young children, and so I thought she was just helping you out. I didn't know you were going to get married, which, is it's a perfect, whatever, I don't know what the word is. It's perfect for a postpartum doula because new mothers don't have the capacity to be thinking of anybody but themselves and what they're going through. So thank you for not burdening me with that. It wasn't really a burden, but do you know what I mean? It's like then I'd be thinking of you, and instead you just took care of me by putting your mom in, which I loved her. She just was exactly what I needed. So.
Yeah, so that's hey, David. Oh, David Paxson. I met you at Birth Keepers. I know who you are. So so the cool thing is, and actually not the cool thing, but the thing that you just said for doulas is that you don't want to bring your stuff. You want to be there for your client, for this woman who just gave birth. And that's what I kept to, and it just the way it happened, and my mom and I were working together. We started out, we're going to do this together.
Oh, okay.
And so Mom took over. I worked a couple days with Pam. Mom took over, and then I went on my honeymoon, and I checked in to see how everything was going. And then we picked up another client, by the way.
Good.
So so that's when my business started, and who knew when that was going to happen. So. Too, what happens with new doulas a lot of times when they first start out? What about getting out there and getting like the first client, or
oh yeah
right?
So it's, well, for one, it's word of mouth, but it's also finding kind of your groove and your people. But I think also a lot of new doulas are doing it because of the experience they had in their own life, and they feel passionate about it, but the timing's not right, and so those are all things that you learn early on, is like maybe the timing's not right, or maybe the timing is right, and how do I want to go about networking and building my business, or
Right, exactly. So yeah, timing, and who do you reach out to? Hey, Lori, thanks for hopping on. So yeah, share that. So what happened with you? So I tell the story a little bit about.
Yeah. So I had my baby. My sister had come when I thought I was going into labor, but it turned out to be 4 days later. And she was there with me for about a day, and then she had to go home. And I was alone and with my husband, and I was overwhelmed. I had lost a lot of blood, and my milk hadn't come in, and I was frantic. My baby was frantic. And I had picked up your brochure the 10th month at probably, I don't even remember, either at my midwife's office. That's probably where.
Yeah.
And I called. And you came, and then your mom came. Actually, it had to have been before the 8th day because we were having a breast. And it must have been, day 5. I'm freaking out about planning for a breast. And your mom was just like, let me do it for you. Oh,
yeah, my mom.
That was like
great.
Just such nurturing. Like I just needed that. Like I know it has nothing to do with a new baby and a new mama, but it was taking care of me and relieving some of those things on my plate that I was too overwhelmed to do. And she just stepped in. She also, both of you were like, get in bed. Let everybody else feed you. You feed the baby.
Yeah, exactly.
I still have this special pair of pajamas that my girlfriend had given me, and the picture of me in bed with my baby, and I can remember you climbing on the bed with me, which is one of my favorite things to do with my clients is get in bed with them and like be helping with breastfeeding, but I'm like right there in the bed with them,
Yes,
I'm always
I know,
barefoot.
I know, barefoot and like all comfy and like you never know, squatting, jumping in the bed, whatever you're gonna. Oh my God, so great. Oh, I love it.
So then I literally, at the time, I was a freelance writer for the newspapers down there.
I remember that, I think. Yes.
And I literally filed your brochure away, which I still have. And I thought, I'm going to do this one day because it was so impactful to my life. And in hindsight, I guess there must have been something there that I didn't know I had, that I was going to be so good at this kind of work. And so when the time came, I started doing some.
Hey, Issa. Okay, Allison. Hey, Sandy. Sandy's my neighbor. Hey, Sandy Marsh. And Issa's one of my new students that I'm mentoring.
It's so nice of you people to chime in and listen.
It's on Pam's first live. But that's so funny, that you just said that about, so, when I first started postpartum doulaing, well, before that, when I was ready to have my first, who's now 28, I was scared to death about, like, what do I do with this thing when he comes out?
Yeah.
And I found home. I did find, and my mom was with me. Hey, you're doing great. So that's how I got started. I thought, wow, I can do this.
Yeah.
And then when I answered that little ad and it said, looking for women to support new mothers and, get paid, I'm like, whoa, up in Boston.
Wow.
And that's when I started because I thought, well, I love this. I know how to mother. I can support someone with this. And yeah, it's kind of like what you did.
Yeah.
Sort of a similar story.
And I started doing some volunteer things. Even down in South Florida, I got involved with WIC and did breastfeeding counseling through WIC. And then when I moved and I got involved with La Leche League. And when I moved to North Carolina, got involved in La Leche League. And then it was like the timing was right, that I was ready to not just volunteer, but create a business. And and I started what I like to say, I started as a hobbyist. My children were little. I took on a client like you took me on. I took on a little at a time. I was thrilled, which, by the way, this is the 15th year. March or April was 15 years for me being in business. And as I was going through my files, I came across my first client. I tried to find her. Your name is Veronica, if you're out there.
Oh, your first client.
But she doesn't know
hey,
just like I didn't know I was your first client. They don't know they were my first. She doesn't know that. And I hope that the care I wouldn't lead her to even think that. But, of course, I honed my skills with each new mom and each new baby. And so I started as a hobbyist, and then next thing you know, I had people working with me.
Yeah, that's happened with me as well.
Yeah.
Back in the day when I was getting going.
Yeah.
After you, it bloomed.
Yep.
So, if you're a new doula and you watch this now or later, hey Sarah Jane, how are you? Just know that it's not always about that you know everything. There's a learning curve. But if you go in with that big heart and that, that open mind and that open heart to just be there for somebody, right? Whether it's birth or postpartum. Right. I mean, there's so much to know, but then again, we don't have to know everything.
You don't have to know everything, but I do think that it takes a certain kind of person who knows how to be in somebody else's space, basically a stranger. You're in a stranger's home, and how to be there and recognize what they need. How to not be overwhelming or to
bring more chaos.
Yeah. And that was my goal, was to always leave the mother feeling calmer and more confident. And I would hear those words. Whenever you're here, I always feel so calm and more confident. I wanted to hear those words walking out the door. So what does that mean? That means I was conscious of where I put my things down. Like, I didn't want to throw my purse down in the way of all the other mishmash, so I put things out of the way. I wanted to work to tidy up their environment if that, was something that would make them feel better. But anyway, you don't have to know everything, but you do have to step out of yourself and into their world.
Yes, I love that you say, that you're saying that, because that's so key. I have one of my points I wrote. I did a blog post, I don't know, it was a while back, about the 10 secrets to becoming a postpartum doula, or being a successful postpartum doula. And one of them I call is like being the chameleon.
Yes, that's it.
You're going into someone's space.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
And you get to be with them.
Yeah.
And it's not, so that's why I say with doulaing, so you can learn about postpartum depression and bonding and all of that stuff. But how are you being when you step into that space? And, am I being neutral? I'm not bringing my stuff with me. Like, I didn't tell Pam, I'm getting married on Sunday. So, no, that was my thing. That wasn't, Pam did. And if I could have said, oh, hey, Steven, my husband's watching. I see you're in nature. Yeah. He's like inside and we're outside. But yeah, that's a lot of what it takes, is like reading people, right?
Reading people.
And knowing, yeah.
Yes. And reading people means, you've got to be quiet. You've got to listen. I was just listening to a podcast on listening and how important that is. And so listening, also reading between the lines a little bit. But we don't come telling our stories. We listen to theirs. And sometimes that's one of the biggest things that I had to learn, was sometimes that's what they needed, was for me to be there to listen. And I had to get over thinking I needed to be doing something. And, why do they still want me to come? I've been with them for 3 months. Why do they still want me here? They don't need me. But you know what? They did need me, because they needed that compassionate ear and that person that was letting them know they were doing just beautifully and reinforcing, the bonding, the confidence, and being a companion.
Yeah, I know. I've had moments like that. And, that leads me to something I want to share, too. Oh, hey, Caroline. Thanks for hopping on. So, this brings me to the point of, this week is Maternal Mental Health Week. And this month is International Doula Month. And Sunday in D.C. is March for Moms, which is one of my things that it's both on. We've been doing separate. Yeah, you want to hold it for a little bit?
Yeah.
Sure. Oh, maybe down low. Oh, there you go. Ooh, arm break. I know. I have my thing in the camper. I have my whatever
tripod.
you call it. But my point I'm making is that hey, Susan, the march is all about bringing awareness to the challenges of motherhood, especially in the USA. We don't support motherhood enough, and it goes with the birth, with the pregnancy, with the birth, and the whole thing, right? Because we have, you have insurance, you don't. You have access to care, you don't. And sadly, hey Amanda, it could even be, the color of someone's skin that prevents them from access to care and treatment, and there's just so many things. But postpartum doulas are around to support the mom and really, and the dad, families, partners. Okay, but what do you need? What does your family need? I'm here for you within your scope.
Right.
And Sunday's thing is all about, what is going on in maternal health. What do mothers need? What do fathers need? What do parents need? Support. We need leave. We need love. We need to not be told 6 weeks you're back to normal, go to work.
Right.
And I was reading a statistic 40-something% of women go back to work in 10 days. I mean, it's a huge number.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to give a shout out for the march, which is why I'm here in Carolina and that I get to see you, because I'm on my way to D.C.
Very
for
good.
the march.
Very good. And I haven't seen it yet, but there's a movie out. Totally, do you know about it?
I've heard some controversial
I've
things
heard
about
some controversial
Yes.
things too.
Like
and
it's all joyful or something.
No. But I do think that it's typical Hollywood and has a twist and has sex and has things that, my doulas aren't sleeping with the dad. I can assure you that that's not happening.
Do they have that in the movie?
That's what I'm told.
Oh
I
my
don't know. I don't know
gosh.
if that's true or not.
Whoa,
but
Hollywood style.
Yeah, Hollywood style. But what they're touting is how it's shedding light on the difficulty and the challenges of motherhood, which is good.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Hollywood is shining
Hey,
a light on
Caitlin.
that,
Sorry.
but they're doing it Hollywood style. So
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. It's not fair for me to say, but eventually I'll see it.
I have heard that, and I think this week about Maternal Mental Health Week, they've got the No Shame Real Motherhood hashtags, and they're asking people post pictures of you, with the laundry strewn around,
Yes.
the room,
Yes.
right, and
Yes.
a baby crying and the toddler running. I mean, that's real, right?
Yeah,
That's
it's
reality.
real. And when I walk into a home with a new mom where everything is pristine and so organized, I get worried.
Yeah.
Because then that their demands on themselves are unrealistic. And it's one thing when you've got a newborn, it's hard enough, but they're contained. They're not adding to the mess per se, except for laundry. It's not, if you keep that attitude as your children grow, it's just, it's not realistic. It's not realistic, for one, to think you should have to live up to that, but also to not be able to ask for help, that, you need to do it all yourself. And so
That's huge. There's this whole discussion about, because we talk about expectations and versus preparation. So I think, for parenthood, can you prepare for everything? No. But you can do some kind of preparations to get a plan in place, right? To have the support that you need.
Yes.
Just as you do a birth plan, any doulas that watch, whether you're a birth doula, postpartum doula, preparation.
Right.
And then, being realistic about expectations. And no, the house doesn't have to be clean. The baby doesn't care. The baby doesn't really care about all the gadgets. But yes, they're convenient. Some of them are great to have. Absolutely.
Right.
But the focus is, what does this mother need?
Right.
Right. What did you need 24 years ago? And
Yeah,
I guess, it served us well.
It really did. It really did. And I remember I did go to a La Leche League meeting, and I said, I just want to take a shower and brush my teeth. And one woman said, all in one day?
Can you imagine?
And we all had a good laugh, because it was like, oh, okay, I'm not the only one. And sometimes I may not get my teeth brushed. And then to teach our husband to say when he came home from work, or our spouses or partners or whatever, that I brushed my teeth and I did some laundry. And for him to go, you're amazing.
Yeah, right?
Like,
having a support
yeah.
husband, partner, grandma, doesn't matter. But
Right.
women are not supposed to do this alone.
No.
Really. And
No.
they don't do it in other cultures. Oh, which brings me to another cool thing that, have you seen the ACOG new guidelines for postpartum care?
No.
So fresh off the press, yes. I just pulled it off to print it out, and I've got it with me. But they're actually looking at, other cultures have this 40-day period, and
Right.
what are we doing in the U.S.? And we really should see women at 3 weeks, and it should be
I
like
did just
a
see that.
continuum,
Yes.
and not like come at 6 weeks. And do they always ask about the baby. Everybody asks about the baby. What about the mama?
Right.
What about the mom?
Right.
Or, the person
So
who gave
important.
birth. So, hey, Jennifer, thanks for hopping on. I know there's a few people hanging out. And it's just such a great story. And connection is one of my things for this year. Connection, collaboration, communication. With other doulas and people that are in this work.
Yeah.
Because what we do is so important.
Yep.
And staying connected is just amazing. And I love this, that I haven't seen you in 24 and a half years, and here you are. And
It doesn't seem like it, though, does it?
No.
I mean, it doesn't seem like
No.
24 and a half years.
because we have spoken on the phone,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you've reached out, and I've checked in with you,
Yeah. Right.
and it's so great. Because then you started a business, and and you're helping more people here in Carolina.
Yeah,
That's a
definitely.
ripple effect.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So, yeah.
Yeah, I do. I feel, and again, you get the credit. Like, you were my influence. I am your legacy.
Aw.
And then the ripple of all
The
that.
ripple effects that you've had,
yeah.
and I've had, and we've
Because
had.
it made such a difference in my life, and I thought, I want to do this for other women, and I have, and I feel very, very proud and grateful. And the women that work with me that are doing this work, it's just, you can read the testimonials, but knowing the relationships, the difference that we've made, it's huge. And I'm just one of this small team of dynamic, amazing women. And it's really, the ripple effect is huge. So if we can help families get off to a good start.
I know, it's so important when we look at the world, right, and what's happening in the world, and it definitely starts, early,
Yeah.
and even in pregnancy, and even before that.
Yeah.
But we do, like, wherever we're at in our birth work, whatever we're doing. Oh, hey, Amy. I talked to Amy the other day. So she was one of my students years ago in Jacksonville, right? And we got on the phone the other day. We hopped on the phone. Hey, Jennifer. Yes,
Oh,
yes.
hi, Jennifer.
Thanks.
Hi,
oh, do you know
Jennifer.
Jennifer? Oh, and
Yeah.
Jane. Oh, Jane Mueller. Oh, I haven't seen you in a while. It's another friend from Scouts from years ago when our kids were little. So thanks for hopping on. Yeah, it's fun to share. And the ripple effect is what matters. Like, that's what I'm up to.
Right.
If I impact one person today with something,
Right.
and that makes a difference in their life,
Yeah.
right? Especially like, I know you're like with me, right? The second half of the life, like, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life
Right.
now? And I am about leaving a legacy, just because I want to, leave a life behind that I know I was committed and I was making a difference, and,
Yeah,
when all is said and done.
And making a difference in the world doesn't mean that we are stopping hunger in, a country. But if we make a difference in this world, in our own backyard,
Right.
that is making a difference.
It is.
And we don't know how that changes the trajectory for one family. Yeah.
Exactly. I know. I don't know about you, but just on a funny note, I've had people say, "Well, can you move in for a couple months?"
Oh, always. Yeah.
Like,
Can you stay?
yeah, can you stay longer? And it's like, but you know that you have made a difference, like you said, when you continue to go and know when, okay, this family's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like, I can leave, and sometimes not. I mean, right? There are times when you still have to, like, it's time to go, and
Yeah.
you've done everything you can within your realm,
Right.
within your scope, with all
Right.
the hats you wear.
Right. And of course, we always want to leave a family in a really good place. And like you said, that doesn't always happen. What we've gotten very good at is knowing our resources and providing them to those families. But ultimately, it's up to them if they're ready to take that next step, whatever the resources are. We've got fabulous ones here in our area, so we're very fortunate. But yeah, it really is their path, and we're just a small part of them finding their way.
Yes, we're the guides, and resources are really huge. I always say it's the doula's new best friend, right?
Yeah.
I mean, really. So
yeah.
So hey, anybody have any questions or comments? Feel free. We're probably going to wind down. Oh, hey, Jacqueline. How are you? Yeah, feel free to make a comment, or if you see this later, feel free to.
I'm coming. I hear hummingbirds.
We're going to be watching the hummingbirds.
We're in this gorgeous, beautiful home in Chapel Hill.
Should we show you a little?
Yes, you should.
Panoramic. Well, behind us. But here, there's water behind us, guys. There's a pond here. I'm usually in my outdoor office at home, but I'm at my friend Jules, who I met at a retreat last year. Yeah, so we went kayaking on that water. And it's just an awesome retreat place. Yeah, it looks amazing. It is totally amazing.
Yes.
So yeah. So what else? Any other last minute? Any final words of wisdom or anything?
Final words of wisdom. Well, you just don't know the end of the story, So here we are 24 years later, and you just, if you're young, you're a new mom, and you're thinking of changing careers, it's like you don't know where things are going to end up. So follow your heart.
Follow your heart, absolutely. And look at that, 24 years later, you can meet with your first doula client.
Yes.
Thanks for watching, guys. This is fun. We'll be sharing it around on both of our pages, and you can check it out later. Yes, we will keep doing what we're doing. I know, I have my sunglasses, too.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, here I am, but just can't see out here. So, we will be sharing this, and, you all rock on, too, with what you're doing, and just think about whatever you do, how it can impact someone.
Jen makes a huge impact on families.
Oh, so she's one of your peoples, huh?
She
How do you
is
know her?
Jen is
I know her name.
a animal trainer. She works with new family. I don't know, maybe you're more of a parent trainer. Helps families integrate their growing families, their babies, with their pets. So her company's Dogs and Storks. Jen, correct me if I'm wrong, but she's helped a lot of my families. I had one client who said, I need to get rid of my dog, and because managing life with a new baby and taking care of their animal was too overwhelming, she helped me with some advice on, take them to I think a family member took them in for a little while, and it all worked out. But people make these rash decisions, or also making sure that their pets know how to, recognizing, good behavior on both the pet part and the toddlers and the babies, and how to integrate those relationships and keep everybody safe and
great. Oh, Family Pause. She just
Family Pause. Thank you.
Yeah, you might be able to help my son out. They just got he's going to be a dad, and they just got a puppy like a couple months ago.
Oh yeah, and she's
James,
got wonderful resources.
And it's like, oh my goodness,
good resources on her website that I hand out to clients on
I'll have them look.
Pets and Babies Making It Work, if I'm remembering the title. But
good.
Yeah, we support new expecting families, dogs. Awesome. I'll have them check out your site.
Yeah.
So, great. So, rock on. Have a beautiful day, everyone.
I'll take my glasses off.
Yeah, I can't see who's on there when I take my glasses off, but it's okay. So, we'll sign off, and we'll hang out for a while, and,
Sounds good.
It's great. So,
Bye, y'all.
see you guys, all right? See you on Facebook or at the march. Bye.